Hello, welcome back to my channel. Today we're going to be choosing my TBR for February, and we're going to go back to the good old trusty TBR jar for this month. I'm planning on choosing 4 prompts to choose 4 different books for me, and then I have 2 books that are really catching my attention for reading in the month of February. So the first one, Caraval. I really would like to get to Caraval in the month of February, and so that's going to be one of my higher priority books that I'd like to get to. And another one that isn't as much of a high priority but is definitely on my radar is Throne of Glass. I really would like to start reading that series, and I'm planning on slowly reading it throughout this year. It's a really big series, and so I want to take my time with it because I want to be able to enjoy it, and also it's definitely a series where there's so much to it, especially because it's fantasy, that it is much easier to get into a slump because of that. And so I want to kind of pace myself with it and be able to enjoy it and try to avoid that slump as much as possible, but sometimes it is just kind of inevitable. But anyway, Throne of Glass is one that I have my eye on, but it's okay if I don't get to it necessarily in the month of February or finish it in the month of February. But those 2 are definitely ones that I've had my eye on. But from there, I just kind of want to stick to romances because this past month of January, I was fully reading fantasy books. And so I want to take a little bit of a break from that because I was mostly reading A Court of Silver Flames, and I am almost done with reading Silver Flames. I only have a little bit left to go in it, but I've been really putting all my focus and intention on this book. And then I was reading Ruthless Vows, which is the second book to Divine Rivals and the completion of that duology. And then I also was reading in January Iron Flame, which is the second book to Fourth Wing. So I am not as far in Iron Flame as I got in A Court of Silver Flames, which the title are so close to each other, but both books are really good. But I just really was getting more into A Court of Silver Flames than I was with Iron Flame. And also me and a few of my friends that are in a book club together were reading this all together, as well as the rest of the series. And I had yet to read this book, but I had read the other ones. So until they got to this book, I was reading Christmas books back in December. And then as soon as we got to this book, I started reading with them. So I've been giving a lot of my attention to this one. So because of that, I really kind of want to take a break from fantasy because I have been like obsessed with getting back into this world and everything. And I know that it'll be hard to separate fantasy worlds from each other, especially when it's one that I've gotten so attached to and so into. And I don't want to start like comparing, and I don't want it to affect my rating on any other fantasy books. So I'm just gonna take a break from that, and especially with it being February and Valentine's Day, I figured it would be good to do just some cute, fun romances and do some simple romances. So I am gonna do the TBR jar. I'm gonna try and hopefully focus mainly on romance books, but if I have like a murder mystery or 2 in there instead, if that's what goes best with the prompt, then I'll do that, but we'll see. So let's do the first prompt. First one is a book that has been on your TBR for over a year. Oh no, is that the only one? Okay, the one I'm like considering is By a Thread by Lucy Score. I've actually had this book for a few years. This was like a book I got a long time ago. I was going to like this beach area with my family one summer, and I was like, I just want like a good cheesy like romance beach read. And so I literally Googled good books to read at the beach and this was one that came up and it sounded really good, so I got it. Never ended up reading it, so this has been on my TBR for a long time. And let's see what else. Let's see, been on my list for over a year, but I don't know if that's one of them. The other one I'm considering is part of, if you are familiar with the author Abby Jimenez, she has like a bunch of different books. Like one is the Happy Ever After playlist, Life's Too Short. I have all of them. Part of Your World, yours truly. Some of them follow other ones. So like Friend Zone is the first book. The next book after Friend Zone is following a side character. I read friend zone, I'm pretty sure, either at the very beginning of 2023 or at the end of 2022. So reading the next book has been on my TBR. I don't know if that's cheating or not. It's my video, so I can choose whatever I want, really. I just don't want this thick of a book. Like, I don't know. This book, like, it may not look, like, it does look thick, but it doesn't. This book is, I think it's like 400 or 500, 572. Hold on, that was the author's note, I think. Author's note to the reader, yeah, 570 pages. I don't know if I want that right now, so I think I'm, shoot. You know what, screw it. Okay, I'm gonna do By a Thread by Lucy Score. Sorry for going so back and forth obnoxiously about that, but I'm gonna do By a Thread by Lucy Score as has been on my TBR for over a year. Or do I do the final Harry Potter book? No, we're doing By a Thread by Lucy Score. Okay, let me put these back real quick. Okay, first book down, next prompt. I'm always so nervous about these. A highly anticipated read. Which one do I read? I think I'm gonna do it. Okay, The Fine Print by Lauren Asher. I have been wanting to read this for a long time, and it's highly anticipated because this one, if you haven't heard of it before, there's 2 others in the series and they all follow different brothers, and the big trope is that the 3 brothers are billionaires. And with this one, the main guy in it, he's either taking over for his dad for building a theme park, or he's the one creating it. I think he's taking over. But either way, he is creating a theme park, and everyone says that this gives off Disney World vibes, Disneyland vibes, and I really would love that. I feel like this is definitely something that I would really enjoy because, as you obviously most likely know, I am a Disney fanatic. So I feel like this would be a really fun read, and I have been highly anticipating reading it for a long time. But like I said, this is part of the Dreamland Billionaire series, so I've heard really good things about it, and the first one I've heard from a lot of people is their favorite or the best one, and so I want to see my thoughts on it as well. So I'm going to choose The Fine Print by Lauren Asher. And it's really cool because there's like sketches on the beginnings of the chapters, and I don't know, I find that to be so fun. So I'm excited to get started on it. Literally, the castle looks like it would be a Disney World or Disneyland castle. Like, it's so cool. I love the covers. So The Fine Print by Lauren Asher is our next read. That's also a thick book. Yeah, it's already over 400 pages, so that's gonna be good. Okay, next. A romance. It just literally says a romance. Amazing. Okay, you got it. Which one? Okay, so you probably can't see the books very well up here, but I have Tomorrow and Tomorrow and Tomorrow, Caraval, The 7-Year Slip, Check and Mate, The Messy Lives of Book People, and The Naturals. And I really want to go with The 7-Year Slip. I've heard incredible things about this book. Anyone that's ever rated it and talked about it has given it 5 stars. I haven't heard a single bad thing about it yet, so I really want to get to this book, and I feel like I'm going to absolutely love it. It's one of those magical realism type books, I think that's what you call it, but basically it's like it's set in like a real world. Like, this is set in New York, I believe, and the main character, her aunt passed away and she's inheriting her condo, and when she goes in the condo, it takes her back 7 years or forward 7 years, but only when she's in that condo. As soon as she leaves the condo, she's back to the present time. So there's romance in it and all of that. And there's like a guy in her condo when she first goes in and she's really confused, like, why are you in my aunt's condo? Then she realizes that it's 7 years in the past, but then when she leaves, it's back to the present day. So I don't know, that's all I really have heard about it, but I've heard, like I said, amazing things about it, and I've been really eager to get to it. So I'm choosing The 7-Year Slip by Ashley Poston. And for my final pick, a book based on a TV series or movie. I don't think I really have one. I guess Red, White, and Royal Blue. I think that one is. Hey, Shells. Yeah. They made a show or a movie based off of the book Red, White, and Royal Blue, right?
Yeah.
Yeah? Okay, cool. Thank you so much.
You're welcome.
Yeah! Okay, so I'm gonna choose Red, White, and Royal Blue. This is another one that I've been eager to get to because I heard really good things about this one as well. It's about these two guys. One is, I believe he's the son of like a prince. When his mother became president of the United States, Alex was promptly cast as the American equivalent of a young royal. Handsome, charismatic genius, his image is pure millennial marketing gold for the White House. There's only one problem. Alex has a beef with an actual Prince Henry across the pond, and when the tabloids get hold of a photo involving an Alex/Henry altercation, US/British relations take a turn for the worse. So it's between two guys, and I believe this is Alex and this is Henry. But I've heard really good things about it, and I believe they made a movie based off of this book. So I'm gonna choose that. I'm actually really excited about this list. Usually I'm like so nervous about like what prompt I'm gonna get and what books I'm gonna get, but I'm excited for these. Even though they're all thick books, I feel like they're gonna be really good still, and I'm very excited for them. So, okay. First book we have for February is By a Thread by Lucy Score. Next book we have is The Fine Print. Then The 7-Year Slip by Ashley Poston. And lastly, Red, White, and Royal Blue by Casey McQuiston. I don't know how to say that author's last name, but yay, I'm so excited. And then potentially reading Caraval. It is the next pick for the book club I'm in. So Caraval is the book that we are planning to read next after we get together and talk about Silver Flames. And the last one, which I don't have with me right now, is Throne of Glass, but I most likely won't get to that in February because I already have a lot of choices as is. So here are my choices, and I'm so excited to get reading these. I'm actually really excited to get back to reading some simple romances and take a break from fantasy just for a little bit, because I don't want to read too many fantasies in a row and have too many worlds that I'm like going between and confuse myself and overwhelm myself. So I'm really excited to just read some romances for a bit. So these are some really good books. I'm really excited to get started. Thank you guys so much for watching. I really hope you enjoyed. Leave a comment below if you've already chosen some of the books that you are in the mood to or looking forward to reading in the month of February. And stay tuned. Very soon I'm gonna come out with a video with a bunch of romance book recs for February in honor of Valentine's Day. I want to give a bunch of romance book recommendations for you guys if you're wanting to get into the Valentine's Day and romance mood. So stay tuned for that book coming, or stay tuned for that video coming soon. And again, thank you guys so much for watching. Make sure to like this video, subscribe to my channel if you aren't already, and hit the notification bell so that you won't miss another video when it comes out. Thank you guys so much for watching. Hope you have a wonderful day. Bye!